Well, hello everybody and welcome. Thanks for watching. Happy Easter. Let's bust out a quick video. I got two topics I want to talk to you about and I don't want to stretch it out long, so let's get started. Topic number one is record stores, used vinyl independent record stores seem to have come back to their senses, at least at my local spot. Now, record shops were starting to get that inflation price jump like everything else in our world over the past few months. Now, in my opinion, they were getting really out of control as far as I was concerned. Used vinyl in my area, basic albums were running $2.99, $5.99, $7.99, like that. That's average prices, right? Then over the last couple months, the prices for used vinyl, same albums, were just like $1 album was like $7, and $7 albums were $20, and it was like, come on, for a 20, 25, 29. For $25, I could buy a brand new remaster of the album. Why would I want one full of pops and clicks for $25, So it was kind of getting out of hand. Now I understand some of those albums are going to rate, like in Discogs, are going to rate at $30 or $50. But that's on Discogs, and that's that particular pressing from that particular studio and so on. If that's the case, put that on the record label so that I know why you're trying to milk me for $25, $30 for a used vinyl. But all that aside, over my last couple of weeks that I've been shopping at my local spot, which I'll tell you is Pooh Bah in Pasadena, who's been around forever. That's what I was experiencing at Pooh Bah and my other local spot, Lavelle's Records in Whittier. I love them both, but they were both starting to milk me with those prices. But over the last couple of weeks, prices seem to have come back to normal. Either some super rich billionaire went in there and bought up all those overpriced vinyls, or they've kind of started repricing their vinyls back down to normal prices, which are anywhere from, $3, $5, $7. That I don't mind paying for used vinyl, and it seems as though we have returned to normal. So I'm very happy for that. All right. That aside, part two, second topic, is what did I pick up in my stop at Pooh Bah? Well, I'll show you. This haul is from 2 weeks ago. I went yesterday and I made another even better haul that I'll show you, like in the next video. But right now, let's go through these. Couple nice surprises, flash from the past also. Okay, so here we go. Sweet, level-headed, all right? Now, Sweet is the band that most of us know as the group that brought us Love Is Like Oxygen. Love that song. So, man, I've never had it on vinyl. I've never had a Sweet album. So let's buy it and find out what's on there. Because this one has Love Is on Oxygen. Love Is Like Oxygen. So I buy it. I'm very kind of so-so on the general LP and the sound of the songs. Kind of meh. So as far as I'm concerned, two really good songs on here. The Love Is Like Oxygen, I'm very happy. Sometimes I'll buy a used vinyl for just one song, and that one song has a skip in it, or it just keeps repeating, I hate when that happens on that one song. But here, Love Is Like Oxygen, clean, great. And then I discovered another song on here. What is it? It's the final song on side 2, Air on a Tape Loop. Very much like Animals era Pink Floyd. It's got that bass line, like from Animals, and keyboards, similar to Pink Floyd, but through their filters, right? Very good song. I really enjoy it. It's long. It's a long jam. So in the end, good album from Sweet. Next one. This is a blast from the past. Cyndi Lauper. What is it? Girls Gotta Have Fun. What's it called? She's So Unusual. Okay. I used to have this back in the day when it first came out. I had it. The copy was stolen in the great punk rock robbery of the 80s, and I never replaced it because I just, it is kind of poppy new wave. And so there were always just better choices for me to grab. But I saw it was the right price. I think it was like here's the price. $1.99. See what I'm saying about prices back to normal? $1.99. I bought it and I played it and I rediscovered. I haven't listened to the LP in so long. I rediscovered it's got a lot of great cuts on it. Nostalgia cuts from back in the day that were on the radio. And also songs that I didn't remember, but what's on here? Money Changes Everything opens the album. I really like that song. Girls Just Want to Have Fun, of course. Time After Time, romantic, slow ballad kind of thing, but I enjoy the song anyway. I like it. She Bop opens side 2. I love that song. That's great new wave right there. So this is pretty good. There's a couple of filler songs toward the end that are just kind of like throwaways, but otherwise, good album, and I'm glad to have replaced it. Once again, at $2, can't go wrong. 2 from Hot Tuna. I never had any Hot Tuna vinyl, but I saw these and I jumped on them because I'm starting to fill out the collection side of my albums on 70s heavy metal thunder, 70s rock. Give me that serious rock and roll from when radio meant something and when deep cuts on albums meant something. And that's where Hot Tuna comes in. I'm very happy with this album. Never heard it before. Hot Tuna is kind of like a psychedelic blues rock, which right up my alley, baby. So I very much enjoy this. Off the top of my head, I can't think of anything to pull and tell you about what's on here. Yeah, see, I can't even tell you from the titles. I'm not that familiar with the band yet. And I'm not that familiar with the titles because there's no big radio hit on here. But the music's just good, man. Drop the Needle, psychedelic, blues rock from the 70s right here. Drop the needle and enjoy on this one. Now, I grabbed this other album of Hot Tuna, Final Vinyl. Now, it turns out what this one is, this one's kind of like a compilation. I guess they had some kind of one of those record deals where you got to fulfill and give them a final album. And so this kind of came of it. It's kind of like a compilation from the past 7 years or so of their albums, or past 7 albums, something like that. Side 1 is Hot Tuna being very kind of like folk rock and rural rock, that kind of thing. Kind of what can I say? Folk rock. It's not really my can of tuna. I don't like that. So side 1, I don't think I'm going to listen to that again, really. But side 2 is where they get into that later era of Hot Tuna, where they plug in their guitars and they start to blow your speakers' minds. That's where the good Hot Tuna comes in. So side 2, great. I love it. There's good stuff on here. I think I grabbed this one because it had that Hot Tuna single that was popular on the radio. What is it? I don't even see it. Oh no, you know what? One of the songs that they left off of here is like their biggest radio tune, and it's escaping me right now. But it's not even on this album. So, but either way, side 2 is very good. So I'm happy with this. Final Vinyl. Moving on. We have our last album, the last album I picked up, This is also a replacement that was taken in the great punk rock robbery of the 80s. I know I titled it the punk rock robbery, that incident. If you want to know what that is and you don't know what the heck I'm talking about, just go back through my videos there. It's titled. I tell you the story about I had the most magnificent punk rock collection and new wave, because that was all the music that was coming out at that time, right? I had the great collection. Somebody broke into my house, stole it all. So that was the great punk rock robbery. But I have I was in the house at the time. It's an interesting story. So if that interests you, yeah, just scroll through my titles there. You'll find it. It's a good story. Anyway, I had this album, and this was taken, and I never replaced it. Rick Ocasek, I was a huge Cars fan. Still am. Huge Cars fan. So naturally, when Ocasek put out solo albums, I jumped on them because there's my guy from the Cars, right? This is his second solo, This Side of Paradise, okay? I actually didn't really love it back then. Didn't love it. Wasn't that great to me. Why? Because at that time, the Cars were, and Ocasek was starting to go off into electronica kind of music and more electronic, keyboard based and mellow based. And I wanted those hard charging Cars from the first couple of albums, the debut album and Candio. I just really loved it. But Ocasek just moved away from it and started getting more electronic. Well, that's kind of what happened here. But after years and years of not listening to it, and then coming back to hear this album, buying it, replacing it, coming back to hear it, I really dig that album. I dig that music. Maybe a little bit of it is because Ocasek's got like half the Cars playing on here. He's got Benjamin Orr giving backup vocals. He's got Elliot Easton playing guitar on here. But although he still has Elliot Easton kind of reined in and doesn't let him really rock out, he's got somebody else. Who's he got? Another guitarist. I'm thinking a guest guitar. I'm thinking it's Steve Stevens from Billy Idol. He's got his guitarist on here as well. They're not like throwing out big jams, but they're doing the support guitar in the background. And he's also got Hawks, his keyboard player from the Cars. So he's got them, and they're all kind of really jamming together on Rick Ocasek's kind of mellow electronics tunes, but they just work. As time has passed and as my musical mind has expanded, I'm accepting it. Maybe that's what happened. My musical mind has matured, and I accept it for what it is, and I actually enjoy it. So I'm very glad I took a choice and I grabbed this Rick Ocasek. I took off the sticker. I think this was another $1.99. So this was my surprise of the haul because I enjoy it, and that's going to get a lot of play on my turntable. All right, so that's my topics for today. Peace, everybody. Easter peace, right? See you later next time. I got to do it again. Peace.